Are you suffering from tooth discomfort? In this video, I'm going to talk to you about 5 different oil options, 3 different ways to apply them, and hopefully get you that relief that you so desperately need. I'm going to specifically tell you the options that I use for my babies. I have 4 kids. I'm pregnant with my 5th, and so I have dealt with teething woes several times over the last 8 years. So, number 1.
System malfunction. Kick. Drum.
So the first application method that I'm going to talk about for tooth discomfort is called oil pulling. You're going to take a mouthful of water in a glass container. I've already put 1 drop of clove essential oil in there. Clove is what's called hot. So it has chemical constituents basically that have a heating, numbing effect, which is why it's part of why it's so great for oral health. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to swish this around, and then I'm basically going to do that inside my mouth too. I'm actually going to spit it back out. Now, if you're comfortable with swallowing it, then you could swallow it. I decided to spit it back out. So right now, my mouth is feeling warmer and number. So I actually have some tooth discomfort right up here in this area. And so I've been applying this exact method and to reduce that and have some relief. So that's the first oil and the first method that I wanted to tell you about. Clove essential oil and oil pulling. Next, I'm going to show you 3 different oils all at once that are all great for oral health. This is myrrh, this is lavender, and this is a dōTERRA blend called On Guard. On Guard actually has clove in it, and it is also considered hot. Now, the reason why I chose these is because these come pre-diluted, so they are ready to apply topically, even for small kids. So, how I would apply these, I'm not actually going to do all 3, I'm going to just do 1. I'm going to do the On Guard. But it would be the same for any of these. So I'm just going to take the top off, put it on my finger, and just stick it right where it hurts. Alright, so I put it on my gums here, and then I also applied some actually on my tooth, and I can feel it beginning to kind of numb my lip. It is not as intense as like a shot at the dentist, of course. It doesn't actually make you lose all sensation, but it really dulls that discomfort, and it is amazing. It feels really great. I mentioned I would talk about teething. Lavender is an excellent choice to start with for teething. It's very gentle. Lots of babies don't need much more than lavender. I've known a couple babies who needed to go all the way to clove. Now, how am I gonna get this? Because remember, it's hot. So I want to dilute it with a carrier oil, in this case, fractionated coconut oil. Fractionated just means that it stays liquid at room temperature. So what I'm going to do for that is I'm going to take my hand and I'm going to do 1 quick pump right in there like that. If you can see, this is how much I would dilute for me. For a baby, I'd probably do 2 or 3 more pumps. Even better, just get some empty rollers and make a roller. So these come, you can find them online everywhere. I highly recommend getting metal roller balls and not the plastic ones. So it should look like this. All right, so now what I'm gonna do, so I have this little pool of FCO, is what we call it. I'm just gonna put 1 quick drop in here. All right, so now again, this is diluted like for an adult. For a small child, I would do probably 3 times as much FCO. So now I have that blend right here on my finger, and I'm gonna do the exact same thing that I did before. Super attractive, but really super helpful. So that's all that I need in my mouth. So what I'm gonna do with all this extra oil is I'm actually gonna put some here on the outside. All right, just like that. The screaming sound that you hear is my 2-year-old on the monitor waking up from her nap. Alright, and then I'm just going to put the rest on my hands. So anything, we know this, anything that goes on our bodies is absorbed through our skin and it goes into the bloodstream. So clove has powerful immunity boosting properties. That's what its constituency is known for. Constituency is kind of like a funny science word. The components, what it's made of. So On Guard started to numb this. Clove is really numbing it. It feels, it's not as intense, like I said, as a shot at the dentist, but that discomfort that I have been feeling for a few hours now is beginning to go away, and it's not nearly sensitive to the touch. Actually, back here is still a little sensitive. All right, so that's three oils, right, that I've shown you. Well, no, 4, I guess, because clove, and then On Guard, myrrh, and lavender. Myrrh has a very strong taste. If you give it a sniff, it's very woodsy. It comes from a tree. And so since I already have the clove and the On Guard in my mouth, I'm not going to put the myrrh in there too. The 5th oil that I wanted to mention is called copaiba. It is my oil of choice whenever it comes to teething for babies. The reason why, it is so powerful for proper inflammation. So it helps the inflammation that's, a part of the teething discomfort to descend to a proper level. So how I do the copaiba for my babies is I get an empty roller, just like this one, and I dilute it to about 10%. So I do about 10 drops of copaiba with 5 drops of lavender, and then top that off with fractionated coconut oil. I have found that has soothed my babies for the most part. If you find that your baby needs a bit more help, then I would not be afraid to add a drop or 2 of clove into that roller, and also to increase the ratio of the copaiba. So to add probably 5 drops at a time until you begin to see that your baby has some relief. I can tell you from the last few days of dealing with this tooth discomfort, it is not fun, and it has given me a much better perspective on what my poor babies have been dealing with. So I hope that helps you with your tooth discomfort. If you're looking for more oil education, then this is your one-stop shop. You have found the place to be. So make sure that you hit the subscribe, like this video if it was helpful for you, and drop a comment below if I forgot something. If you want to fill me in on another oil that you've tried that has worked well, then that would be super great. Have a great day.